Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend Symbiosis, where today we are starting a new game as the Mykara, and although the settings for our new game are the same, things are going to unfold very differently. That's because we are today playing with the Endless Legend community patch, you can see down here in the lower left. There will be a link to the community patch in the description box of this video. It will be the second link, because the first link is going to be to a save that we will create as soon as we load into the game, along with instructions to load that save yourself in case you would like to play along. I always find it super interesting when multiple people play the same save in a 4X, just how differently the whole thing unfolds due to everybody's unique playstyle, you know, the different ways the players tend to like to interact with their environment. So if you do choose to play along, I'd be very interested in reading in the comments below how your game goes and how it is different from how my game goes. And on that note, I would like to say a special shout out here to a user who goes by the name Placeholder Account, who has done that consistently in the previous Endless Legend series. Your game reports are always very, very interesting to read. So let's get going here. Now, this game is going to be quite different. Like I said, the Endless Legend community patch makes a number of changes. There's a bunch of bug fixes in it, stuff Amplitude has not managed to get to yet, like fixing the weird behavior around the AI dealing with overgrown cities. But also, and I think much more importantly, the Endless Legend community patch contains a number of AI changes. These have a lot of different effects. The number one, probably most obvious effect, is that they're going to make the game considerably harder. Impossible difficulty with the Endless Legend community patch on is much, much harder than endless difficulty without the patch. So, I'm not necessarily expecting to win this game. We might lose here. This will be our first real challenge as the Mykara. We may have to learn some things and adapt. But the other big effect of the community patch on the AI is that it makes the AI players feel a lot more like, sort of like people in the game with you. Not exactly like people. They still don't play like humans would play. But they have a lot more personality. They engage in diplomacy, they make friends, they form power blocks, they make enemies, they hold grudges. I think the game is just way more satisfying with the community patch AI. So, like I said, there's a link in the description down below. Feel free to go check that out. And before we go anywhere or do anything here, let's create that turn 1 save. So, the first thing I'm noticing about our surroundings is that they are not very green or lush. Not a ton of food to be had here. That said, there's an extremely nice cluster of anomalies right here. Hard for me to believe we're going to want to settle anywhere else, but we absolutely ought to look around. So we found ourselves 10 die right off the bat. That's pretty fantastic. Oh yes, I do in fact know how the faction works, thank you. So, well, sort of. And we have immediately met Samutanda of the Draken. So, the Draken are a faction that have as one of their traits, they get to know at the start of the game the locations of all other players' initial units, and they immediately meet all other players. So, Blue knows where we are, but we do not know where Blue is, and if that makes you a little bit nervous, good, you're paying attention. That should make you nervous. That is a disadvantage for sure. So let's have a little bit of a look around here before we commit our settler, although I have a hard time imagining we're going to find a better location. Now, it is worth keeping in mind, you do not have to settle in your initial region. Sometimes it's way better to move out and settle somewhere else. I do not think that's going to be the case here for us, but it is always worth repeating. I think it's very easy to get in your head the idea that, like, the first thing you do is settle, and you gotta settle on turn 1, and then, you know, it's not always the case. Not always the case that you want to settle on turn 1. Oof, our region is pretty bad, aside from the area that we are probably going to settle in. I do not like this start very much. Okay, so within 5 turns, search this relic to get a cool shield. Yeah, we have a guy on the way over there. We'll probably get that done. I said I do not like our start very much. I do not like our starting region as a whole very much. I think our start is fine. We're gonna put down here. We're going to have a lot of production. We're going to have 20 points of approval. This is strong. I like this quite a bit. So, here's a question. We have a decision to make right now on turn 1. We have this die. The cost of popping a luxury booster is 5 plus 5 for each city you own, which means that right now, while we have 0 cities, we can pop this booster for cheaper than we will be able to at any other point in the game. Do we want to use it? It's going to give us plus 50% influence, which is only 1 extra point of influence at this point. it's going to give us 5 approval, which is not necessarily going to be relevant because we're going to be at 80 approval when we set our city down. 85 is not a different level. 80 and 85 are both within the happy bracket that runs from 60 to 89. So the question is, do we want to get +1 influence per turn, like very efficiently, or do we want to save this until a moment when it might be a little bit more relevant when we're making more influence? Well, how about this? What are our legendary deeds? Be the first to gather 30 units of one luxury resource at the end of the turn in order to gain 130 emeralds. Well, that's a pretty weak reward for that. I think that emeralds are probably the worst reward you can get for this. But it's still 130 of a luxury resource. You can use that for trade, you can use that to sell. So we might want to hold on to the die on the off chance that we get a bunch more die from, searching ruins or quest rewards or whatever. And then we can have 30 die stockpiled and get this reward. I think I'm going to hold on to it. Before we leave the screen, we may as well check here. First player to destroy at least 10 armies will gain the Tactical Training Initiative bonus. I think that's unlikely to be us. On Impossible, the AI get to start with enough free resources that they will have more armies than we will. And they can be pretty aggressive with them. I don't think we can kill 10 armies faster than the AI can. So probably we are not getting that legendary deed, which is a shame. Alright, is there any reason I might not settle here? We could put down here instead, and the advantage of that is that we immediately have access to the water. We could build ships, we could, go out on the ocean and see if... Well, actually, I don't know if we can go out on the ocean. Hold on, let's move over a little bit. Okay, yes, this is proper ocean. I was not able to tell if this was ocean or inland water from where we were over there, and if it was just a lake, then settling on the coast of a lake is not super good. Settling... So what's the resource difference? 12,418, 14,6,218. It's not small. That is a significant resource difference. We could just build a burrow early in the game and get access to the water that way. Yeah, I think I want to take this slightly meatier start. But I do want early ocean access. We're going to try to play with the oceans a little bit this game. I like the ocean play quite a bit in games where you can afford to do it. Let's get our Founders Memorial started up here. It looks to me like we can probably take this guy off of food without... Nope. I was going to say without disrupting our 2-turn citizen. But let's make sure that we get that citizen. So we have a bunch of dust coming in. We do not have a bunch of science. We're actually pretty low on science. It's going to take us, 9 turns to get Mill Foundry. Usually I like to research Language Square before Mill Foundry if I can. I don't know if we can at this speed. Like the early benefit you can get from taking quests from minor factions is considerable. But we got to be able to build stuff. Yeah, maybe we still do this. We have 16 to 36 turns before the first winter. It's going to be a late first winter. That means that cultivation is a little bit better than it normally is. I often wait until the first winter hits to start researching cultivation, because you don't want to research this and then build your seed storage and then have winter fall immediately and not be getting the full benefit from the seed storage, right? But with that amount of time... I mean, it's going to be tough if it's taken us 9 turns to do research. But maybe we want to go early cultivation, like Language Square into cultivation. I wouldn't ordinarily do this. Mill Foundry is tremendously important. But so is population in your city, and that's only truer if you are only able to build 1 city. So yeah, let's try a real food-heavy opening here. Alright, I think with that we have actually done all the things we need to do on turn 1. You can see a ruin glowing over there through the mist. Let's have our hero check that out. And of course we get our faction quest. Research the Alchemist's Furnace tech. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll try. We'll get there eventually. Alright, we see red here. Red's border. We found 10 wine. Okay, we are popping the wine. Because the wine moves us up to fervent, gives us that extra 15% all resources. That extra 15% fids. It's not actually all resources. It does not include influence. That's pretty valuable. You can see it's taken a couple of turns off of that build there. It took an extra turn off of our research. Approval is just extremely important. It's difficult to overstate the value of approval. So part of me wants to just snap the hero back over here so that we can... We're going to get to search this ruin once for the quest, plus once for normally searching a ruin, plus this. I think I want that big XP burst on our hero. So let's go ahead and reassign him now. Get his assignment cooldown started. And now we have to wonder, like, is it a good idea to meet Red? Do we actually want to do that? The moment we meet Red, it becomes a possibility that they will declare war on us, right? They can't declare war on us until they know us. But it could be beneficial to meet Red early and try to make friends. We don't have a lot of ways of making friends right now, unfortunately. We got ourselves our break wall shield. It is a pretty good shield. Pretty good early game shield. And if we build the geomic labs in our city, it will just give us the mill foundry tech. That's interesting. Geomic labs is not super good for us, right? Yeah, only 2 of the tiles naturally have science on them. Not ideal. Alright, let's get our hero set up here. I think we're going to do the same thing with him we did last game. Actually, I think we're going to use him in the army, I should say. I wonder if it is a good idea to go for this stuff first, or if we maybe should go and grab Woodland Stride. Last game it would have been very helpful for us to have this. And then from there you can build up into Necrotic Spores, which is a pretty considerable army buff. And from there, the Urkan Slayer ability, which is just going to be bonus damage against Urkan, I assume. That could be useful, right? The ability to conquer Urkan a little bit earlier could have big effects. You know what, let's try it. We're trying out new stuff. Let's try new stuff. So this first skill point doesn't do anything at all for him, unfortunately. But we'll grab Woodland Stride. We'll definitely grab Necrotic Spores. I don't know if we'll grab Monster Hunter right away. I don't know. Let's just try building him this way. I'm curious. And do we want to go closer to Red? Or should we just head south and explore around our territory? Red could be Kapaku. You can see that this is going to be their initial region here on turn 3 probably. And they started in a volcanic region. If they are Kapaku, that could be dangerous. Kapaku are very powerful. They're good at building stuff. They're not super great at expansion right at the beginning of the game because they don't get food from non-volcanic tiles, but they get the ability to transform tiles into volcanic tiles eventually, and there is no way to untransform them. So it can be dangerous if the Kapaku get on a runaway. Although I guess I'm thinking about that from the perspective of a normal faction. I don't care if they volcano form everything around us, as long as they don't do it in my land, right? Well, no, I would like the cities around us to not be volcano formed so that we can get food out of them when we inevitably conquer them, which we will totally do, because we are so awesome and badass. Yeah, we're going to head in this direction. Looks like this is a pretty long, narrow region. Alright. One final question. We've made a ton of money already. Do we want to just buy out the Founders Memorial and get all these bonuses going right now? I think we probably do, right? The other option is we could save this up and try to research Mercenary Market early. But we have this much dust, not really because of luck, but rather because we settled in a high dust area. So I think we'll probably be able to do both, honestly. And then we can just start building the geomic labs, even though they're not totally ideal. Because building them also gets us Mill Foundry. We're just doing double duty here. I think the start has potential. That'll lower our research time. Okay, so here's a titanium deposit. Do we have any deposits actually within our region? We have spices here. Okay, no strategics that we can see. If there were resource deposits of types that we can currently see on tiles that we don't have access to, there would be a little question marks here for each one of them, indicating undiscovered deposits, so we should not expect to see anything else in our home region. So now that we know the Red City is actually probably pretty far away from us, that makes me think that Red's not that likely to settle in this direction, which is probably a good thing. I think we're going to stay food focused for the moment. How much is it going to be to buy this out? 150 now, so it's going to come down pretty sharply. The cost of this is going to come down by 30 per turn. I mean, if we buy it, we'll immediately get access to the ability to build the mill foundry. I might buy that out the moment that becomes available, I think. Which might be right now, depending on how much dust is in this ruin. Okay, bad news. It was none. None dust. That is a shame. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find a ruin over here? Nope. Okay, well, I think we've had some pretty good luck with our ruins. Not a lot of money, but finding that quest to get a free tech is always nice. I believe you can only get that technology if you or that quest. That quest always takes the form of build this science building that you know about but that you haven't constructed in your city to get a free tech. So make sure you get some science stuff early if you want to have the ability to see that happen. Okay, we're going to hang out here next to this minor faction village because Language Square is just about to finish. Let's go ahead and purchase this. So we're going to finish this and begin research on cultivation. We're going to build the mill foundry while cultivation is researching so that our seed storage will get built pretty quickly. This is kind of an explosive start, actually. This is something you can do sometimes in these high dust beginnings. Oh, we've got our mill foundry tech. Let's get our mill foundry going. 5 turns on that. Cultivation is going to take 7 to finish. It probably is a net gain for us population-wise to rush that along a little bit, and then we'll rush the mill foundry along with dust as well. But if I commit all the way to this, it's still 3 turns, but I'm negatively affecting my birth rate. Let's get it in 3. We can probably get the mill foundry in 3 as well. We can definitely get the mill foundry in 3 as well. Yeah, okay. What do you guys want? If I gave these Ursas 50 dust, they would give us a quest. What is my home region's minor faction? Oh, we don't actually know yet. Okay. Well, if I give these guys 50 dust, am I still going to be able to make my goal here? So we assume the cost of buying out the mill foundry will come down by about half. So it'll be in the neighborhood of 90. We'll be at 18 plus 75. Yeah, so we should still be fine. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and give them the dust. Let's see what else they want. So they would like us to bring 5 titanium to the other Ursus village located in the same region. It just so happens that we have 5 titanium. Also, they gave us 10 influence, which we can use to get a slightly better empire plan than we might otherwise have access to. Yes, we do see the other Ursus village in the region. Well, that's a shame. I was kind of hoping that we would get to explore while also working on this quest, but that's fine. We'll run over, talk to them, and then just look around over here for more ruins. And we are going to go and talk to this village over here. So the Bos give plus 5% food per pacified and overgrown city for us. There's definitely some incentive to overgrow this region pretty hard if we can get them pacified. Yeah, I like where this is going. I like this start quite a bit, actually, the way things have turned out thus far. What would you guys like? Is it doable? Something real doable? Locate a Silix village in the region Inel and destroy it to get... Hey, look at that. Die. Not quite enough die to trigger that legendary deed, sadly. Well, the region Inel... Hold on, I should look. Okay, so as far as I know, this quest always asks you to go to an adjacent region, which means this is probably Inel up here. Nope, those are Hernas, so it must be up this way. Well, we'll stop by and talk to them real quick on the way out. Alright, there's our 5 titanium in. These guys are pacified. And we could think about overgrowing and assimilating them early. They give building reduction or building cost reduction, which is pretty cool. I've always thought that the way the tooltips for this kind of stuff are worded is kind of weird. It's plus 5% cost reduction rather than minus 5% cost. I don't know why it's like that. It's just a weird little amplitudism. Alright, it would be cool if we could find some ruins that have some cool stuff in them, please. Furnace settlements are often crowded, noisy affairs, with the lively inhabitants compensating for their dreary surroundings. This village is different, the place empty, the few Hernas despondent, as many of the clan were killed in a landslide during their last migration. Without better protection for the settlement, while those who are able to do so hunt, they will surely all perish. Well, that's a real problem for you guys. I am certainly not going to assign 2 military units permanently to this village. We could consider just attacking them. I think we could take them, because our hero's really powerful. But I'm not certain we could take them without the Epatane dying. So let's just continue on our way. We're pretty sure we're headed for another region over in this direction, right? You guys are going to head this way and find me some cool ruins, right? No? No. No, absolutely not. What about you? You would like me to come back with an army that contains minor faction units. Also probably not happening. Rough start in some ways, I suppose. Alright, this should give us the ability to buy out the mill foundry. Yep. Then get the seed storage, under production, and I will go very, very hard on the seed storage. Let's get that done as early as possible, and then probably get back to food focusing. So, what do we need now? We have a couple of options. We could go for the Alchemist Furnace just to get our quest rolling. Our quest has some cool stuff in it. I don't think it's, totally critical. And I wonder if maybe we want to get Open Pit Mine so that we can get access to that spice deposit in our main city region, because spice is a plus food anomaly, so it will certainly pay itself off. Sewer system obviously is also pretty good. 20 approval would make us permanently fervent, or at least, fervent until we build a bunch of burrows. But we might want to wait for this era and build Central Market as our approval building instead, because it has plus percentage food on it. I think I'm going to take Open Pit Mine right now. We could also go for a really early mercenary market, I suppose, since we're making so much dust all the time. Get a governor going in our city really early. I really like that. Let's do that. 10 turns, though. Once we get the seed storage built, maybe we'll focus some population on science. Or maybe the fact that it's going to take us so long to research stuff means we should pick up public library. We'll force public library through and then, yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to do. Probably. I don't know. Let me waffle about it a couple more times. Just a little more back and forth. Okay, so we see blue. We know who blue is already. That is a conflict we're going to want to keep an eye on. The potential conflict between blue and red down there. Either one of those two getting control of the other one's assets could be bad news for us. So we're going to get this thing done with hopefully plenty of time before winter. Winter occurring at the earliest possible time would be kind of bad for us. Not heartbreaking or anything, just not great. But if winter occurs closer to 26 turns from now, we're actually in pretty good shape. Right, this is not the Silix village they want us to destroy, but this is the right region. Pacify these Silix, do not put influence in the military ministry. We could probably do that quest. I guess it depends on whether or not we try to assimilate someone really early. So I haven't overgrown anything yet, but once we have the seed storage up so we have a little bit more food flowing into the city, we might want to overgrow these 2 villages and then just get on that assimilation. Oh hey, hi, how are you? So here's the bad news, he's probably going to attack us. The AI are very aggressive with their early game units. He has 130 life and 55 defense, but only 34 attack and 26 damage. The Drakenling is a survivor, not a killer. 34 attack, 26 damage. That's... okay, that puts him a little bit below our defense. He'll probably hit for full damage most of the time. We could try to kite him around a little bit. Use the trees to make his movement difficult, maybe. Since we have slowdown on our attack. But we don't know where his other units are, like what he might be able to pull in his reinforcements. There might be other guys over here. So maybe the smart thing to do is just to run away. I really don't want to lose an Epitane this early. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Oh, here's a feature. I believe that clicking on that... Yep, look at that. That's an Endless Legend community patch thing. Clicking on that just once queues up execution of the orders, so you don't have to spam click it until it goes through for fear of not getting it done in time. That is a very, very nice feature. So unfortunately, we're now back down at 80 approval, and we do not have enough resources to boost ourselves back up to 90, so we're just going to have to not be fervent for a minute here. Ah well, you know, it's not the end of the world. And hey, look at that. Somebody just entered Era 2 here on turn 12. Oh, interesting. Red has taken this region. I wonder what that means. This is just a lake, then. Yep, and this all connects. I thought this might be water all the way through. Okay. Very interesting. So 30 more dust for me. I kind of want to build the husbandry center next and just really commit on food. Like, I know we gotta do science stuff. Now that this is done enough to finish next turn, we can move everybody to science, get the public library, probably just buy the public library immediately. Maybe. Because we can't have so little science. That's a real empire killer right there. So this is the city that is spoken of in the quest we received from the boss. I'm gonna have our guys just meet up with us up there. I think that'll be our plan. Oh, and you know what that lighting change means? It's about to be dust eclipse time, which means that we can use some of our extremely abundant dust to rush overgrowths, so we don't have to wait very long for these guys to get done at all, which means that assimilating these villages and gaining a 10% reduction to building costs is a thing we can really do, which means that we might want to devote some people to influence just so that we can do that and also have an empire plan. Because obviously I'd love to not have to skip out on the plus 20% science. Do we want to build a borough right now? It wouldn't actually change our approval level any. It would knock us down to 70. Like I said, we could get access to the ocean. We could start building our husbandry center. I think I want to do that. I think I want to start on the husbandry center. Alright, so you are going to come down this way and hopefully reveal a whole bunch of beautiful temple ruins while doing so? Nope. Well, we have these temple ruins that we'll get to search on the way through. If we get the attack finished here, we can unassign our hero and recreate him as an army on Dean, and then get these two pretty easily. Yeah, that's probably our plan. Now, I will say that Silics are pretty tough. They're hard to kill, and they do a lot of damage. Minor faction relative, but they're slow. We can take advantage of that. Alright, so 90 dust, that's fantastic. Can we get to the other side of this village this turn? No, so I probably want to wait until... Oh, actually, we can't get to this village this turn in any way. I'm wondering if it's reasonable to go back and get this. Like, I want to conduct our business here pretty quickly, obviously. Oh no, that's totally climbable. Why is it acting like this is the most efficient way we could interact with this village? Yeah, weird. Okay, with that being climbable, we can totally afford to go back for a second here and grab this. Unfortunately, none of these confluxes are the type that I really need right now, which is plus movement. Got a 10 glass steel, okay. So, armed with this dust and the powers of the eclipse, let's just go ahead and buy these out, right? This is a little awkward. I have to select the city, and then 16 dust and 32 dust. And then I think we just assimilate immediately. Seems pretty good. So that's a 10% reduction in the cost of all buildings. If we would like to have an empire plan, cost of a tier is 22 now. We have 6 turns to make 22 happen. If we pop the die booster, we probably only have to put one person on dust to make that work, right? Oh, except that there's an error. Should have done this before buying those. Well, now we're going to get dust when we do this thing, though. Or die, rather. Yeah, that'll solve it. We'll get there. Everything's going to be fine. Here's a question. How many people can I take off of science while still getting that tech done next turn? The answer is many. Several. More than one by a bunch. Do I want food, or do I probably want to try to rush the construction of the husbandry center, right? Then we're going to devote to food. Alright, so you guys are just getting up here in reinforcement range. So we can't actually make the attack happen this turn. I see that. Did you see that when we walked near this? The blue glow became visible for a moment. There's a temple ruin on that tile. Alright, so we'll attack next turn, and then we'll snap the hero off and do the other thing. We got our tech. So now, I kind of still want to get Mercenary Market next. I know we're delaying our faction quest here, but I think it's okay. We just want to get Public Library. We want this down. I want good research rates, and I want them now. Do that. I know Mercenary Market looks ugly, but our total science output is going to more than double on the when the Public Library is finished, so I think we're okay. Yeah, 5 turns. I mean, it's still not great, but it's better. I mean, you may as well join up so as to benefit from the buffs. Let us lay down these Harmonites. So, very, very dangerous Harmonites, but what quest is this? Okay, good. Not the one we're currently working on. But the thing about Harmonites is they only have one movement, so we can just kill them with our superior range. I am going to have our hero participate here, though. We have to be careful about these guys for a couple of reasons. Number 1, they hit pretty hard. Number 2, they have the beam capacity, so when they attack, their attack goes clean through the thing they're attacking and into the tiles behind. Positioning carefully is going to be very important. Finally, they have the stun capacity, so they can stun our units, and that could cause some big problems. The good news is, both of those things only work on attack, not on counterattack. So, we can have this guy run to here, attack that guy without any risk of a stun, and then these two are going to do their best to attack from positions that this guy can't threaten. Actually, I suppose we should focus fire, right? As long as we're still in range 3 of that guy, let's all work together and get them down to 1 enemy here. What I was thinking is, oh, it'll be important to slow this guy so he can't chase us, but he already can't chase us because he has 1 movement. Unfortunately, we now cannot stand in a position where I can attack this guy with our hero without being attackable by both of them, so he's just going to move to a position where he's not attackable by either of them. And these two are already in such positions, although I guess I'm going to have them move, just like keep the maximum amount of unpathable terrain between me and the enemy. Plus, standing all close together like this is good for morale, which is good for damage. Alright, once again, our hero can participate, although, actually, if our hero moves here and kills this guy, he'll no longer be safe. So I'm just going to have him back up a little bit more, and we're just going to keep waiting. If we can just do enough damage to this guy to drop him, the battle gets a whole lot easier. Okay, so now we can just like hard commit. Our hero will be able to control this guy completely, as long as he doesn't take enough damage to die. And it looks to me like we could probably have the hero back off, because the range can finish this. Alright, easy. Another level for our specialized polyp. 15 die from these guys, and if we return to the tribe's village and restore their trust, we'll get another 15 die. Oh, that makes me not want to pop a booster, because we'll be over the 30 that we need and we'll get the reward. Okay. So we're just going to have to pull a couple of people over. If we put 2 people on dust here, we'll make 20, influence. If we just put 1 on here, we'll be at 4 per turn. We'll get 16 more dust, which actually is enough, right? We just need 22? Okay. So we didn't even need the dice. We're fine. Yeah, alright. Husbandry Center finishes next turn. Everybody moves over to food. Things are going. So, let us unassign our hero. Create our hero anew as an army upon the city. Search this ruin. And glass steel, that's a shame. Really could use some more dust here since we're angling for access to the market. You guys need to get over there and search that one. Oh hey, the triangle. That is a movement conflux. Unfortunately, getting it will run us out of movement, and we may not actually get any benefit from it. Well, we'll move to here and see what's up. Research rate's still not spectacular. Okay, so it seems like red might actually be settled really far away from us. Oh yeah, normal search of this ruin as well. Another 30 dust. Grab the conflux, maybe be able to make use of it next turn. Alright, and now I think we just want to have our hero run up and turn in that quest. We could come down here and search this area. There's just something to be said for that, I suppose. No, I think I want to do this. Turn in that quest, get our dyes and everything. So, we don't have anything interesting to build for a minute. I think we want to just burrow out to the ocean. If we don't do that, we remain at 80 base approval. When we get enough, or when we turn in this quest, we'll get all those dyes and we'll get all those emeralds. And if we pop them together, they'll provide enough approval to make us fervent. The gain of building the burrow is not huge. 2 food, 6 dust, no matter how we do it. Access to the ocean's a big deal, though. We could just build military units, is the other option. That's what I'm thinking. We can just build Epitanes here for a minute. I think I'm going to do that. As much as I want ocean access, I also want to be fervent. Hold on. Let's update our Epitane design, because they start with no armor. I would love it if we would only build versions of these guys that have armor. Do we want to stay on slowdown, or do we want to lower enemy attack? Let's see. If we were going to get into a fight with our neighbors, the Kapaku are entirely melee focused, I believe. They have a heavy infantry. I don't remember what their third unit is. They have a heavy infantry and a cavalry guy. I know that. And then the Draken are... The Draken have a ranged unit, but they're going to be mostly melee guys. So actually, I think slowdown's the right call. I think slowdown's the thing for now. Do we also want to put improved movement trinkets on them? No, for now, let's just have enough guys to defend our capital. We'll worry about being able to move them around later. Alright, 62 food per turn. Pretty good start. Ah, that's a shame. I was going to grab that movement conflux. We were going to go a little bit faster to our destination here. I guess it was going to be 2 turns either way. And you guys picked up that movement conflux only for it to immediately disappear. Well... Okay, yeah, somebody else has destroyed 10 armies. It's turn 18. There's no way we could have beaten that pace. Now that we know where blue is, blue knows where we are, and they know us. We already potentially have a hostile neighbor, so it might actually be to our benefit to meet with red. Just so that we can, like, try to work politics a little bit. Let's head into red's territory a little bit. Let's see if we can maybe say hello at them. Hey, they have pacified their eyeless ones. This is dangerous, of course. We could get attacked. Alright, and we are going to have just enough influence to get 1 empire plan. Oh, we have met the Kapaku. They must have moved some units into our vision. Yep, there they go. Okay, I think we probably don't want to go any deeper into red's territory than this, because we will get murdered. But it's nice to know you. Okay, we have pacified these guys. They've given us all that dye. At the beginning of the next turn, it'll check resource supplies, and then it'll give us that legendary deed, and then we'll pop the two boosters and get to Fervent. So we still have a lot of territory we can explore. We can bring these guys back and start exploring to the south of our stuff. Yeah, we still have lots of useful things to do here. And in 2 turns, when we get access to the mercenary market, we will definitely have enough dust to buy a hero. Make sure you guys are moving. I'm going to get in trouble here. So winter is upon us. The first winter is always the same. Oh, interesting. Urkans suffer 25% penalty on all stats. And untamed Urkans do not migrate in the winter. That's new stuff, obviously. But yeah, the winters are always the same. -1 food, -1 dust on terrain that give those things. So we definitely want to try to acquire some pearls here. That's only 3 pearls. I'm wondering if it's better for our hero to go into uncharted territory. Yeah, let's go this way. Hey, look at that. Rewarded already. So here... What minor faction was it that wanted us... It was the Silix in an L that we would pacify if we took the economy and population boost. I don't think I care about that. Got our 130 emeralds, and I think we're going to stick to the plan here. Get the science boost, and then probably pull this person off of influence. Just make food. Alright, let's see what else is going on up here. Slowed movement during the winter is probably one of the most annoying parts of... Oh, settlers. Part of me wants to turn around and just try to murder them before they settle this region adjacent to us. Obviously, killing another player's settler gets you in some trouble with that player. They don't usually love that sort of thing. Alright, what do we have access to here? So we have a Sisters of Mercy hero. There's some interesting stuff going on here. So, first of all, Influence Boost 3 has some obvious value. They have a big approval boost as their very first skill. And then, somewhere up here... Yeah, food and dust income cannot become negative. My suspicion is... Actually, I have no idea how this would work. If we just had a bunch of fungal blooms all going at the same time, right? You stop gaining the ability to put down fungal blooms when you are at negative food. But if this kept our food at 0, instead of letting it go negative, we could theoretically put down a ton of fungal blooms all at once. I'm not sure whether I actually think that's valuable, whether that's worth a hero slot, especially considering how bad their tree is overall. Lowered military upkeep for the units in the city. Yeah, like their tree overall is pretty bad. And that's a gimmick that would be useful like at max 1 time. Just like take everything over and then... Yeah, I don't think it's worth picking that up. Dust Boost 2 on a Forgotten. Dust Boost 2 on one of our guys. Food Boost 3 on a Draken. They get plus food from rivers. We're not actually built on a river now, but there is a river in our region that we could build toward. And then a lot of influence, and eventually a lot of approval. Not exactly amazing. Nala Al-Jazar gives Science Boost 1, Influence Boost 1. Dust Boost 3 is certainly interesting. You could end up with a lot of dust with a Broken Lord hero as well. Iraku with Influence Efficiency... Dust Efficiency 2, and End on the Seer with Influence Boost 2, and then, of course, that wonderful Cultist skill tree. This might be boring, but it's really hard for me to imagine it's wrong to take the Cultist. If we took this guy, +1 food on a bunch of our terrain, complete reduction in consumption... Now, it's gotta be the Cultist, right? Like, I hate to be boring and just do the same thing as we did last game, but It's got to be the cultist. Also, Andon the Seer is a real badass in combat, which is nice. Good to have a governor who can really help defend the city. Yeah, I think that's right. It's just very, very good to have a cultist hero in a city that's going to have high population, even if it's not your entire empire. Alright, man oh man, I cannot wait for this winter to be over. So we're not finding a lot of ruins out here, which is a shame. I think I'm just going to build... Oh! I totally didn't even pop the boosters. Hey, let's be fervent. Remember how I wanted to be fervent? How I put all that effort into avoiding expanding so that we could be fervent? You know, the Rumbler that we picked up from our assimilated buddies is actually not a bad unit for us. They're slow, which is annoying, but they're big and very beefy. They'd be good at standing in front of the Epitanes and keeping us alive. If we actually built some of those guys, we probably wouldn't need to research Shamblers. You know, honestly, that's not bad. Okay, build me one of these. Let's fiddle with the design first. I appreciate the player-colored war paint. I like that you guys are trying to fit in. Put that on. So what he has access to claws, which gives sweep strike back. He's a very low initiative unit. So the fact that sweep strike back overrides the counterattack to make his counterattack more useful is very compelling to me. We could also give him a big hammer so he has stun, like the Silix, but he's probably not going to get to use it for the same reason they never get to use it. I actually really like the claws on him. So the cost of that unit is 138 industry. It's only a little bit more expensive than the Epitane. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to have one or two of those around. Alright. What we know is that the winter is going to be kind of short. That's a good thing for us. Probably want to grab these pearls. That's a lot of pearls there. 5. Oh, hey, there's another Ursus village here. Oh, and blue just took over the region. Well, that's a shame. I wanted to overgrow that. Could have taken another 5% off of our building costs. Yeah, that's real annoying. Oh, hey, look. It's orcs. Well, I might be able to just fight them. 64 attack, 33 damage. Initiative matters a lot here. I have 38 to their 36. Yeah, we could probably just fight him. I think we can handle this. I will not be driven off. Ah, that's a little bit of a shame, though. They were able to set up far enough away that we're not going to get to hit them on the first turn. We're just going to take a beating here. Oof, maybe I'm not going to get him. Yeah, probably not, huh? Ah, that sucks. Well, we did find a bunch more ruins. The good news is that it's probably not a big deal for us to buy back a hero. We're producing a lot of dust during non-winter times. Bad news is, it's winter, and it feels like it will always be winter. This winter is actually going to go all the way to the final possible turn, isn't it? Alright, somebody else has constructed the Museum of Auriga. I would have liked to get that. Who took it? It was built by Green. Okay, we don't know anything about Green. Yeah, I'm really bummed out that those guys got full attack damage on like 4 of the 5 attacks we saw there. Half damage even like one more time would have made a huge difference. Yep, the winter was exactly as long as it could be. Alright, well, we are no longer actually producing a lot of dust. That's a shame. Let's go and have a chat with our minor faction over here, see if we can pacify them easily. We also did not quite get enough pearls to build an altar. Although that is enough pearls to finish the job. Alright, so let us parlay with these guys. They would like us to find some monsters in these ruins and slay them. If these dudes jump out, we can put down this minor faction army real fast. So yeah, buying our hero back is going to be a little bit too expensive for us right now. We could fix that, though. I bounced everybody over to dust. We'd have the money fairly quickly. We did also get 15 gold. That'll help by reducing the amount that we're paying for the upkeep on our buildings. Yeah, that was reasonable. Now we must fully grow 3 Mykaran extractors. Hey, even more emeralds. Who doesn't love more emeralds? Alright, well, let us rid ourselves of these guys. So the Ended are tough. Do a lot of damage. We don't actually have to fight them, though. We can just stay really far away from them and let the city units do a lot of the fighting here. Let's see, they have 2 move each. If I get in range to fire an attack, I'm also in range for them to attack me on their next turn, and they go before all of our units, so... Let's just have our actual units back off and see if we can't handle this via hero and militia. That guy slowed down. This guy will probably get his attack in. Okay, but he's attacking the hero. Trying to take advantage of his chain lightning. Alright. Good to have some good to have decent backup. Also, hooray, free XP for our city hero. Alright, so clearly I slightly overestimated the effectiveness of our hero there, our combat effectiveness. I think I kind of want to send somebody to grab those pearls right away. Maybe we'll build another unit and have that unit be on pearl duty. Because obviously, like, as soon as we have those, we can build a burrow that doesn't lower our approval, so we can just build out to the ocean right away. As soon as we have that. But also, it's going to take such a long time to build a unit like this. Still, we will need more. Oh, and I suppose I ought to research things. So we're going to move up into the next era off of our next research. Let's get Empire Mint, because I think we could use it. And then we will probably come back and get Open Pit Mine. Because those spices are definitely worth having. And there's another place where we could build a spice extractor down here. Alright, let's go and complete a quest, shall we? Oh, there were pearls right there that I saw very briefly. Whatever, I don't need those pearls. We should probably get the extractors going, I suppose. Obviously, I would love to build them in regions that are not yet owned by players. Do that, and then we have to wait on the other one. Right, I can't... am I allowed to build... I don't think I'm allowed to build... Yeah, on owned regions. So yeah, we're going to have to wait until we see another one. There might be one in this region. Alright, so now we can buy our hero back. Get Dean back on population. Get over here and lead us gloriously into battle. Oh, hey! Hey, Blue, how's it going? What are they doing? Why do they have so many units over here? They actually outnumber us a little bit. 69 defense with that much health. They're going to have a hard time killing us, but we're going to have a hard time killing them, too. Man, Epitanes have really poor health. I have a memory of them being tougher than they are, on account of hero skills. I'm still going to go. Ooh, check out that extremely nice tree. So my plan here is that these guys only have 4 points of movement. I guess we can commit all the way down to here and they won't be able to catch us. I don't exactly have a plan for leaving, but I do want to get this done and search ruins and stuff. You know, we'll figure it out. That's my plan, is we'll figure it out. That is very frequently my plan. Alright, so we click the button and it will just go. Ah, it's beautiful. Okay, we're getting in some trouble here, obviously. Oh, hey, and the first Urkan is stirring, has not actually spawned yet. Soon, one will surely break through the crust. Alright. Stupid Minotaurs. I don't have time for you. So the Minotaurs are fast-moving. They are going to screw up my ranged. Well, one of them is. Yeah, I mean, not a lot I can do about it, right? You just step here, stop that guy, and then the ranged, I'll focus on the other dude, because it would be super cool if we could kill him. And realistically, you're only going to be able to attack this guy. Although, let's do it from a different angle. Let's try to walk around him a little bit. Okay, that wasn't so bad. I totally spaced on the fact that, yeah, of course this guy will have moved. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Hopefully we can keep the Ipitanes safe while fighting the army that's going to spawn for the quest. Alright, it's an army of rumblers. We got 15 wine, which we do not need at the moment. Okay, this is good. This guy spawning over here allows us to avoid him for the first couple of turns of combat. Alright, yep, just do it like that. Our own Rumbler finally gets a chance to contribute, and he just completely flubs it. Alright, sweep strike back. Gotta be careful about that. I should have had our hero... Well, I couldn't have had our hero move and attack him from a different angle, could I? Because of all the forest, we don't have enough movement to have hit him from another side. Okay, hey. Good work, Rumbler. Good kill. So we have accomplished the quest. Pacification. The haunt is now a population point in our city. Looks like the Draken also spawned a quest army when they searched the ruin. Then we got nothing out of the normal search there. Well, we could probably take these centaurs, but I kind of like them as a buffer. The next turn we'll do this. And we can just start that. Yeah, alright. Do that and hope not to get too murdered. We'll have the pearls necessary to start the altar. Just execute this right away in case that centaur bails on us. So you can see there, they started an attack, combat happened, and then there were 2 centaurs left after the combat. So the Draken, yeah, they have some problems killing people. As a venerable and cautious race, rumor has it that the Dargeshi have stockpiled vast mountains of resources in underground caverns beneath their villages. Perhaps it's time to bring the Dargeshi into your ranks and test these rumors. Unfortunately, we don't know any Dargeshi villages, so we're not terribly likely to get this quest done. Also, we have met Purple, the Alayi. Ah, they've got their skyfins sailing around the world. Okay, well, that's interesting. I don't know that it's super relevant to us. Purple probably has his home very far away from us. The Alayi are fast-moving, and they can sail over the ocean immediately. They start the game with that tech, so he could really be from anywhere. Right, also, these Gorin would love it if we would give them 8 spices. I'm not going to be doing that. Just curious if they would give us a nice easy quest. Somebody just entered Era 3 on turn 31. We're a little bit behind on science. We have our 3 Mykara extractors going. We're pushing our faction quest forward. Apparently it's about to be eclipse time again. That's pretty cool. I'm down with that. We get up to 8 population or more, we'll get some influence. I think that it's fairly safe to say that we will do that. End our turn adjacent to this this temple ruin. Oh, there was only 1 pearl on that tile. I just assumed it was more than 1. It looked like a larger deposit. Well, crap. Also, this region is now blue. So blue is settling very aggressively. We're going to have to kill them, I think. Out of curiosity, is blue at war with red? No, not currently anyway. We might be able to do something about that. So let's reactivate. We only have to activate 1 of them to get back to Fervent. I'm going to save the emeralds for now. Keep this one running because it is actually doing stuff for us. So, given that we think we might be going to war soon, let's continue to produce units, shall we? Get 1 more Rumbler up. Now, the odds of us being able to just defeat the Draken player straight up at this point in the game are probably not great. He has a lot of bonuses that we have to cope with, and he's more adept at using them this game than he was last game. That said, if we can get a little bit of cooperation out of red or something, it's still possible. Not super likely, but it's totally possible. Alright, plus attack on units. We're going to try a different path to dominance this game. So we did that. Cool. A lot of influence to work with. Found 130 dust in that ruin, which is great. We're going to need that money for retrofitting, because it is definitely time to pick up those alchemical alloys. Also, our research rate is so bad. How did it get so bad? Our hero cannot be reassigned for 1 more turn. Here's the thing. These guys are going to search this ruin, and they're going to steal our Eclipsed Temple search. If we had the ability to reassign our hero, I absolutely would have unassigned him and popped him on the city just to go grab that. Alright, well, it is what it is. We should probably move some people over to science, because 10 turns is not going to work. Okay, that'll work, though. We can be -3 for a couple of turns. We have a little bit of XP from, or a little bit of strategic stuff from doing quests. Well, they didn't steal our search. I'm gonna do that thing I said, now that he's available. Let's just get this right now. He could re-merge up with those units shortly. As it is, we can go grab that. Huh. Interesting. You see this? Yeah, there's no reason for us not to be able to just move straight through, since this forest tile that would ordinarily take 2 movement only takes 1 for this guy. The way it was routing around there, I almost was thinking that there was a stealthed unit in that tile. It's just the pathing calculator being weird. Sometimes it does that. Okay. Oh hey, we're past the hour already. Well, let's push through here to having finished alloys. So where are we at on our extractors? This one's got 2 turns left. The other 2 just finished, right? Yeah. And then also, we know that this Urkan is over here. He is not really very easy to interact with for us right now. Probably we will ignore him for the moment. When we fully grow this extractor, you're right, we're going to get emeralds. I was kind of hoping a big cache of titanium or something. But okay, emeralds. Emeralds will have to do. We'll run over there and grab that ruin, and then we'll remerge with our units. And then I think our odds of being able to take blue out are bad. We have to try, right? We have to do something. Can't just let him grow along my alongside my empire forever. I do not love the fact that that was Palladian. In theory, it's a good thing to get higher level strategics, But man, I wish that was something we could actually use. Alright, if the eclipse goes on one more turn, we'll get to do one more search. At this point in the game, I would really like it if we found some strategics off of this. It's not usually where I'm at. I almost always want dust, but... Alright, dust. That's a shame. Purple is trash-talking us about our fungal blooms. I wonder if that means they intend to move into this region, since we bloomed up that titanium, or Hyperium rather. Maybe. I don't think we're going to be able to reach another thing unless, I suppose, we could start a bloom and then buy it out. We're going to need a lot of dust for retrofitting, though. Remember how expensive that was last time. We could buy out this thing, I suppose. I don't know if that's actually worth doing. How much dust would it be? I cannot, in fact. Oh, because it's going to be done next turn. No, because it's done right now, because it's already done. Okay, so we got our 15 emeralds. We control 5 overgrown villages. We'll get some blood crystal. I mean, sure, I'd love to get there. I'll tell you what I would like, actually, is for these to be controlled. How much would it be to buy those? If I did this... Yeah, so it would be well over 300. We can't do that. We don't really need to stick on science anymore, I think. Let's see, we got 4 units right now. We'd have another 2 for backup. What do we want to research next? We're not going to go after shamblers, we're just going to use rumblers. Our research rate is bad. Probably what we have to go after next is a research building. And then we have to get equipped here and make some trouble. So I expect we're just going to be fighting a lot of infantry for the most part. We probably want to go for big infantry slaying weapons and not so much with the shields. We don't necessarily need to go for additional movement. And I'm going to not, for the moment, put on movement trinkets just to keep the retrofit costs down. Let's see how affordable we can keep this. If we go for glass... we're not going to be able to put glass steel gear on everybody. Let's make that design... I probably want to be able to get the upgraded strategic stuff on these guys, though. The thing is, it's going to be 6 points per unit. We cannot afford that. So let's do this. Let's do a non-strategic upgrade on all of them. Buy that out. And then we'll do the strategic upgrade and retrofit up the 2 of them that can be retrofitted with this stuff. Okay. Well, it's not great, but maybe we can catch Blue with his pants down. Do dragons wear pants? Probably. Let's just go over here and have a look. Not at his pants situation, but at what his city looks like. Golds run out, and there's nothing we can do about it. Why can I not? Okay. You can't transfer the hero onto the units if his assignment cooldown is not available. Apparently you have to transfer the units onto him, even though the end result is identical. So at this point we could rush some of these. Although we're negative on dust now, without the gold up. Oh, because we dropped out of Fervent. Well, I'm going to hold on to the wine for the moment. Let's fire the emeralds. That'll get us back to Fervent, and it will give our city a little bit of bonus fortification in case we get into some trouble here with them wanting to kill us over the war. You know, all the warring we're doing. Pop this guy out. Let's see if this looks at all feasible, and then we will end the episode there. It's going to be winter soon as well. It's very inconvenient. city was attacked by a minor faction, maybe? Like, who else could have done it, right? Weird that he lost so much fortification, though. Pitying. We'll show him to pity us. We'll show him why he should pity us. We could just drop. We could drop in there right now. We have our 6 units against his... I mean, we'll take the city. The question then is, do we get eliminated from the game by the counterattack that follows? Ideally, in this situation, we would make a deal with Red for Red to, like, I'll declare war if you declare war, and Red will be like, okay, I'll do that, but, like, you gotta pay me, and then, you know, and then he's all distracted and stuff. Unfortunately, making that deal would require access to another level of diplomatic technology. And while I do think we need to get that, I want that very badly, we can't afford to grab it right now. I really want to just declare here. We can make some stuff happen. Alright, you know what? I'll think about it over the day, because we are done for right now. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see if I take the slow and sane path or if I get us all killed. And we'll see you then.